It's time to look back at the tape from the Bills' win over the Jets. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. What stood out to you?
Yeah, sometimes in ugly conditions, in the sleet, in the rain, in the cold yesterday, add the wind on it. You're going to have to win ugly in this league. And it was great to see the defense step up in this game. We were wondering what this defensive line would be like without Von Miller. Well, the last 2 weeks, the defensive line stepped up in a big way. Yesterday, we saw great effort from Oliver, Rousseau, Lawson, and Epinesa, and we're going to get to some of these in the tape, but the defensive line had 4 sacks in this game. Greg Rousseau had 2 of them himself.
Well, let's start with Rousseau's first sack of the game. It came on 1st and 10, right near midfield.
On this play, we're going to see immediate penetration from Ed Oliver. So the Jets are trying to run hard play action. They pulled their right guard, and this is a very tough block for a center. I've gone against defensive tackles quick like Ed Oliver. That's a very tough block on the center. So Ed causes the initial pressure on the play. Greg Rousseau, rushing from the left defensive end position, keeps his outside contained. It's a run read initially for him, but he stays alive here and is able to come up with the sack.
And then in the second quarter, the Jets were driving again, and Epinesa came off the edge to force a fumble. What did you see here?
On this play, Epinesa is rushing against the tight end. That is a mismatch. Conklin's laid out of his stance, and so Epinesa gets up the field. Now, Mike White is unable to step up into the pocket because of the penetration from Edmonds adding on the blitz on this play. So again, the Bills are able to come up with the sack here, forces the fumble on the play, and luckily for the Jets, they're able to fall on it.
Okay, now let's fast forward to the second half, and Matt Milano made the biggest hit of the game. How does he get this free to take a run at Mike White?
So here, Brewer's going to cross the center's face, and so it draws the right side of that offensive line with him. Edmonds going to add as the blitzer on the running back, and so he's man-to-man on the running back, so he adds on the blitz, and then Milano comes on the delayed blitz and lays an absolute kill shot on Mike White. And this is a perfect hit by Matt Milano. It's so hard nowadays to hit the quarterbacks like this, to get a hit this big on the quarterback and have it not be a penalty. But he perfectly uses his shoulder, not his head. He doesn't drive his weight into the quarterback on top of him, and he never leaves his feet either, so it's not spearing. It's a heck of a play by Matt Milano, who in my opinion is having an all-pro season.
Okay, then so Mike White has to leave the field, and then the very next play, Joe Flacco comes in, and Rousseau comes up with the biggest play of the game. What did you see on this one?
Yeah, Greg Rousseau is going to be rushing from the left defensive end position, and he works the tackle way up the field. And he's going to come back underneath Ed Oliver, who provides a ton of penetration. Again, Flacco is going to think he can step up, but this is not a designed game by the defensive line. It's not a stunt, but Greg Rousseau rushing it very intelligently here, sees the penetration by Oliver, and understands that Joe Flacco is going to step up in the pocket, and he comes up with the sack and the forced fumble.
Now, fourth quarter, and Shaq Lawson gets a sack. This one also came on 1st and 10, and it pushed the Jets back 11 yards. Break this one down.
Yeah, Shaq Lawson's able to see that it's play action. They're coming back across the formation with a wham block on Shaq, and he sees that this is not a run play. The offensive line is all working flat down the line of scrimmage. If Shaq would have seen that left tackle get up the field, he would have understood that this is a run play. He sees the offensive line all work flat. He's a veteran defensive end, has a lot of intelligence out there, so he keeps his contained, and he's right there for when Mike White tries to roll out of the pocket. Again, a nice clean hit. Very smart play on all these sacks, not to get roughing the passer penalties.
Great stuff as always. Thanks for this, Eric. We'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Steve.